Friends, welcome to Concepts of Geology online classes. We were in the first module of Economic Geology, Part 1, and discussing about the factors which make a mineral deposit profitable or potential for mining. But today, before starting, I want to thank you all for supporting me and making 100 subscribers for Concepts of Geology. Please keep watching and inspiring. We have discussed the first factor, that was the grade. Okay, first one was grade. Fine, this was the concentration of metal in the ore. Concentration of metal in ore, or suppose in host rock in true sense. Please have a look on the last video before starting this one. The link is provided in the I button in top right corner and also in description. So let's finish the discussion. The next point, which is first for today, is the byproduct. Okay, byproduct is the factor which makes a project profitable if found associated with the ore. So this is profitable if found or associated. Okay, even we may have the situation where an ore deposit would become unprofitable if the byproduct is not taken into account. A good example of byproduct is silver and cadmium. Silver and cadmium in lead zinc deposit. Okay, or suppose uranium in gold deposit. Okay, so keep in mind, byproduct always increases economy. Now the next point, the third one, is the commodity price. Price and demand. This is easy to understand. We all know higher the demand of the metal or higher the price will definitely add more economy to the project. Higher will be economic. Okay. Fourth one is mineralogical form or the chemistry. Mineralogy or chemistry. Mineralogy or chemistry of the ore. Okay, now this is a geologically interesting point. The mineralogy or chemistry of a mineral is very important because we may not have the technology to extract metals economically from some minerals in spite of having considerable concentration. For example, nickel can be extracted easily from the sulfides than the silicates. Okay, if we want to extract it from silicate minerals, the process will be uneconomic. You may recall I told in the first class that ore of aluminium is bauxite, though it has a huge proportion in silicate minerals like feldspar, but we cannot use it as ore because we do not have the technology. We cannot use laterite as ore of iron similarly because the mineralogy or the chemistry of the mineral is not compatible. So the mineral deposit will be economic if the mineralogy or the chemistry of the ore is compatible to extract the metal. Okay, fine. The next point, number 5, is the grain size and shape. Grain size and shape. The grain size and shape of the ore mineral. We know after mining the host rock is needed to be milled. That means it is crushed and the ore mineral is separated from the host rock. So from host rock we are getting ore and gangue. The gangues are discarded and they are called tailings. the percentage of ore we can extract from the host rock is called the recovery percentage. Suppose we have 80% of gangue here, that is the tailing, and 20% of ore. Clearly, if the recovery percentage is 100, then it will be the most economic, but practically this is not possible, as some particles of the ore phase will always go into the tailing. 100% separation or liberation is not possible. Here you may ask why? Because if the grains of the ore minerals are irregular, angular, then they are difficult to separate. Or again, if the grains are very fine, then also the same problem comes. You know, in sedimentology we say shale is hard to erode than sandstone because the particles in the shale are irregular, fine and platy in nature. The same logic leads to loss of ores in tailing. This is decreasing the economy. So, irregular, fine grain or minerals are uneconomic. Okay. Next factor is presence of undesirable substance. Some minerals may contain harmful elements for human health or environment and increase the processing cost. For example, phosphorus in the iron concentrate, suppose phosphorus in iron, or suppose arsenic in nickel, or nickel and copper also, nickel and copper. So these impact the environment and also bad for smelters. Similarly, we found some topaz associated with tin deposits. Topaz in tin deposit, okay, they increase the hardness of the host rock and thus increase the operational cost for crushing and grinding equipments. Okay, the next point, number 7, is the size and shape and depth. Size, shape and depth of the ore body. Now low grade high tonnage surfacial ore bodies, for example supergene enrichment deposit or porphyry copper deposit, they are normally of huge size. So a potential capital budget is needed for starting the mining. Okay. Again, you know the ore to waste volume ratio, which is called the stripping ratio. If it is more, then we need to underground mining. This has more cost than mining of shallow deposits through open pit method. Okay, so the size is if larger and low grade, then uneconomic. Fine. Depth more uneconomic. And the shape is also important. More the irregular the shape of the ore deposit will increase the cost of mining. If the attitude of the ore body is very much inclined, then also it adds limitation on the mining because we cannot mine beyond a certain depth. So economy lies in high grade, low tonnage and regular shape deposit. Okay, this is economic. Fine. The next point, number 8, is the ore character. Ore character. The loose ores like placer deposits need low cost to mine, but harder rocks will need drilling, blasting, etc. And definitely this will increase the cost of mining. Okay, so the loose ore is economic, But again, here one thing should be kept in mind that if the host rock is weak or fractured, then also it add more cost to mine. Here the cost of drilling blasting may be saved, but the more roof support is needed in underground opening or making gentler slope in the open pit mines increase the cost of removing overburden. The next one, number 9, is cost of capital. Okay. Now this is again an interesting point. Mining industry is profitable if we get the ore very soon after the mining operation started. If I am getting the ore after a long days of excavation, then I need a good potential capital budget. That's why geologists are engaged to explore the shallowest finding of the ore, and that will be in the most up deep side of the bedded deposit. Okay, suppose this is a bedded deposit and this is the most up deep side of the bedded deposit. This is towards the outcrop or the incrop region. In mining we call it box cut area. Box cut area. Definitely the mining activities should be started from this box cut area to minimize the cost of capital. Number 10, the next point is the location. The location of the ore deposit. This is again easy to understand. In the remote location, the cost of mining will be higher because the company have to build the total infrastructures like road, electrical power supply, schools, hospital, etc. Skilled workers also demand high wages to work in remote location. Okay, so economy will be economic in good location. Fine. The next factor, number 11, is environmental consideration. Mine workings no doubt add prosperity in the local human lives, but definitely put adverse impact on the environment. Groundwater disturbance, acid water leaching, air and sound pollution, land use impact, etc. always need an environmental impact assessment to protect the environment as much as possible. Definitely this needs a sustainable development plan which again needs investment. So here environmental impact assessment EIA is needed. Okay. Coming to the next factor, number 12, is the taxation and government policies. Government policies. Different government policies and taxation snatch money from the companies. These are also calculated during assessment of profit and loss. So, more tax decreases economy. Okay. The last factor, number 13, is political and social factor. Political and social factor. Fine. Areas with unstable political condition or social emotions may not be good to work. Okay. Donation, labor union problems, problems in land negotiation, terrorist activities, these may make work environment hostile. So here stable condition is good. Stable condition is economic. So these are 13 main factors. There may have a lot more. Now let us summarize the class through a gist. So this was the summary of the class. I understand the topic was a little bit broader, but you will all agree that these are interesting. Anyway, if you are even bored, then also I will request you to follow the class, because before starting the most interesting part of the ore geology, that is the theories of the ore genesis, we need to go through some fundamental concepts like these. So please follow me, subscribe and share the channel, and interact in the comment section or through email. Today, the introductory part of the economic geology, that is module 1, is completed. In the next class, we will start the module 2 and discuss about the morphologies of ore deposits. Okay, goodbye. Thank you for watching.